In this section, we'll try and answer your questions about what it's like to go to Download Festival, things that we recommend, and things to avoid. This week, The Village. So what is The Village then?
It's the Village. Basically, it's what it sounds like. It's a large area with loads of different things, different bits and pieces in it that you'd need to happily survive a week away, I suppose.
It's like the heart of the campsites, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got your showers, your toilets, you've got shops with food. It's amazing, actually. It's huge. It's a huge. I mean, it's not more like a town than a village because there's so much in there. There's lockers. What else is there?
You got a pub.
A pub, of course.
Air of the Dog. You got Air of the Dog, which sells obviously. It sells a few beers, spirits. I'm not sure I've ever seen wine in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They've always got their own beer, which is Dave, you help me out here, man. I can't remember the name of the beer they have. It's something to do with the Download Dog.
It's not Dogtooth, is it? That's the name of the.
That's the fourth stage.
Yeah.
Dog Brew. No. Oh, there's a good question. If you can remember, if you've been to Download before and you know, then get in touch with us, anchor.fm/festpod, and click on message. What is the name? It's good. It's a good competition question, that's actually. What's the name of Download's own beer that they sell in the pub?
It's quite nice. I can't remember what it's called, but it was nice. I had a pint when the first year they started it. I think it was 2 years ago.
Oh, I think you've got to. It's the Download branded ale, so you've got to at least try it. It's like the Iron Maiden Trooper beer.
Oh
yeah,
you've got to give it a go once.
Have you tried that?
Trooper, it's okay.
Yeah, it's
as a sort of an ale traditional beer goes, it's all right.
So as well as all that, you've got a cinema in the village, which is not your traditional, go and sit down in a dark room type thing. It's just a big tent with a screen, and you sit on the grass and watch whatever they put on. They have all sorts on, don't they?
A lot of times they have like music-related films. So a few years ago they had Pick of Destiny, Tenacious D.
I've not seen that yet.
They've done Wayne's World and things like that.
They've even shown Star Wars when the new ones started coming out. They had Star Wars on, and I remember I've never had an experience of Star Wars like I did watching it at Download, because we were all cheering for all the main characters and warning the characters, all shouting, "Don't go in there! He's got a gun!" Things like that. It was hilarious. It was so much fun, because if it's drink fueled, then it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Didn't they have Jurassic Park as well recently?
Oh right.
I can imagine again, like you say, with a couple of drinks in you, that could be really entertaining.
That does sound like fun, actually. They show wrestling there. I think we watched wrestling at some point in the cinema.
We did. Yeah, there was the NXT UK, so which they do live anyway. Actually, in the arena, we got sort of the pre-show in the cinema to what was going to happen at the festival when NXT first came to Download.
What have you bought in the village that you have thought, "Oh, I'm so glad I bought that"?
I can answer that.
Last year, go on, Dave.
It was 2016 or 17, and we were, even though obviously it's mid-June, at night times it was very cold. I remember the first night I was freezing, even with like my sleeping bag and stuff. So during the next day, I think me and Lee just had a trek around the village. I found this really, really nice blanket. Like, I don't think it was sheepskin, but it was like the fluffiest blanket I've ever seen.
Like a fleece.
Yeah. And and that was amazing at night times. Even though you think it would be hot, obviously, just being in a tent outside, it gets cold at night, and that was a lifesaver.
Yeah, you don't realise actually, just because you think, oh well, it's summer, so I don't need to take a load of bedding with you, but actually it gets freezing cold, doesn't it, sometimes?
Yeah.
What about you, Lee?
The my lifesaver. I forgot my waterproof last year, stupidly, with all the rain. So having to go and again trek around the village, like Dave said, and find one, which you can. They've got stalls up there for again the like proper camping sort of stalls. Will have everything you need to survive the week. So yeah, I managed to find myself a big old camo waterproof, which I think looks cool. It kept me dry, kept me warm. Wouldn't recommend it in the actual arena where I can't put it down. It was very thick and very big. In the village, or in the campsites where you could dump it, so I could dump it in my tent, and I wore it at night. Actually, Dave said it gets really cold, and I think I wore it during the night at one point.
That's the thing about it. The village is you could basically turn up with just your ticket and get everything you needed for a few nights of camping. Actually, in the village, you can get your tent, you can get your bed, you can get your duvet, you can get everything, food, the whole lot. And I bet people actually do that.
I would. I'm going. Obviously, we're doing the RIP experience for 2021, and I've been toying with the idea that I've been called mad for even thinking about literally turning up one day with the ticket and a bag full of clothes, and then trying to slum it with, and again, buying everything there and see how I get on. Saying it out loud, it sounds like a really bad idea, but I thought it'd be interesting.
It would be interesting and probably easier, but it would be so much more expensive.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's the festival tax. It's not an official thing, but it's almost on all your products. Everything's just a bit more expensive. Where you find a £4 pint elsewhere is now £5.50 pint at a festival.
But not everybody who goes to Download Festival can actually use the village, can they?
Can they not?
Well, people on day tickets can't use it.
Of course. Sorry, you're absolutely right. Yeah, if you buy a day ticket, you're pretty much only in the arena for the day where the bands are. Which I think if you want to do that, that's cool. Day tickets and arena only tickets are obviously available for those that don't want to camp. But I think there's a little bit missing from the whole experience of Download if you don't do the camping.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on that some people may not realise or think about at Download for the Wednesday and the Thursday. There's so much going on that I think some people are missing out. But again, it's obviously a personal choice. For some people just want to do the arena for the 3 days.
And with it being on tarmac for 2021, it's going to be a different experience for us all because we're used to trudging through mud if it's been rainy. I mean, the mud at Download, if it's been raining, is something else. It's like mud you've never seen before. And deep, because you've got thousands of people walking through it all with Wellingtons that they've had to hastily buy from the village for 20 quid.
That's another lifesaver that I'm so glad that they're there. If you do get stuck like that, you can buy a pair of wellies. And I have to give a special mention and thank you to Dave who bought me some wellies when my boots got so caked in mud they were unusable.
I think last year when with the rain, it started to dry off maybe on the Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember now, but the mud started to dry and that made it worse because your foot would go into the mud but you couldn't get it out again. So having village on tarmac next year will definitely be a big improvement.
I mean, if you get your foot stuck in the concrete, then there is something really wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't forget, you can ask us questions or give us your viewpoint about what we're talking about by sending us a voice message. Go to anchor.fm/festpod and click on message. Tell us your do's and don'ts. Tell us about something we've missed or that you think we should have talked about instead. Or just give us your opinion. That's at anchor.fm/festpod. Just click on message.